Mother of a Christmas was released in 2024. This is written and directed by Butch Maier, and we have a cast including Lamont Ferguson, Karen M. Bryson, and various others. It sounded great. It sounded like it could have been really fun, really entertaining, but unfortunately it doesn't work. Ben and his wife and children are supposed to be spending Christmas with his mother-in-law, his wife's mother, but due to delays he ends up being stuck on his own with his mother-in-law. Will they get along, or will it be just too much for Ben? Sounded like it could have been great, especially if the characters were really strong and the performances were really good. The characters are fine, but the narrative is so slow, it's not that interesting. But the main issue is that it tries too hard to be creative with some of the camera work and the editing, and it's just so distracting. There are so many random close-ups of random things, and the shots go on forever as well. I feel like it's been created by somebody who enjoys getting creative with camera work. They're really interested in the technical aspect of filmmaking. And while that's not necessarily a bad thing, it does mean that the narrative, which in my opinion should be the primary focus, for me, films are about storytelling. Everything else is about how best to tell the story. I feel like here the focus has been on how to be creative and have fun with the technical aspects, and the narrative is secondary to all of that. And in my opinion, that should never be the case. The technical aspects, with feature films at least, the technical aspects should enhance the storytelling rather than having technical aspects put together to then try and tell a story that seems like it was created secondary. Again, that's my opinion. I don't know if that's actually what happened. But it definitely seems like a lot of fun was had with the camera work, with choosing objects to randomly focus on for far too long, and all of that is very creative, and I don't have any criticism towards that. Some of them lasted longer than they needed to, but it seems like the story was built around the footage rather than the other way on. I doubt that's actually what happened, but that's certainly the impression I'm getting. So the narrative just doesn't work. It's not well handled. It's very creative, but the creativity should never be prioritized over telling a decent, engaging story. The creativity should enhance the storytelling rather than push the storytelling to the side. The music is very annoying, partly because it's often very loud over the dialogue, and often because it just seems to stop abruptly. It doesn't fade properly, so it's not very nice to listen to either. So unfortunately, it doesn't work very well. It was an interesting idea. It had a lot of potential, but the focus was completely in the wrong place. And when the narrative does happen, as I said, the music is often quite loud and I can barely hear the dialogue. So it had potential, but Mother of a Christmas definitely does not work.